viewers may find the following footage deeply disturbing. For more awesome content, like and subscribe now. Lock and load, bitches.
Yeah, so that was a weird. Yesterday morning, or right around lunch, I'm just carrying on, and I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting." Marsha.
Marsha.
She can't hear you.
Hello.
Oh.
Sold a Black Sabbath CD. I'm like, that's weird. Out of all the CDs I've listed to sell a Black Sabbath CD, and about 5 seconds later, Ozzy's passed.
Yeah.
So that was so. If you've got anything related to that, so of the CD, it's just weird. Of other CDs I've listed, there's like 48 of them now. 2 people have passed in those, but Connie Francis and Ozzy. So I guess I should go look and see who else I listed. Maybe I put a curse on people.
hey, Malcolm Jamal Warner just put out an album like a couple years last year, I think.
That was strange.
His.
It's weird how someone would think Ozzy passed. I've got to buy Black Sabbath right now because this CD won't be available in the rest of your natural born life. It's just strange that
I had some cassettes, but I think they all sold.
I don't
not recent though.
I don't understand that part about the way people the mentality, the psychology, the way they buy things. An Osbourne's TV show. That's the weird thing. So if you talk about someone like an Ozzy, he spans so long in the spotlight that each generation knows him as somebody else.
Yeah.
Whether he is Black Sabbath to you, or whether he's the '80s solo singer to you, or whether he is, TV star. My generation, most people cannot forget the fact that he was on stage and bit the head off a bat. That's one you don't forget. That was kind of locked in your memory. So that was you had to know it was coming. That was that what bits and pieces of that tribute concert, his last concert. That was hard to watch.
I did not watch.
I don't know, Ron. Depends on what the wife. It's her show. It's her show. Depends on how she feels. They've got it set up with all of the salt and pepper shakers. Don't I could tell you right now. Oh yes, and then at 3:00 this afternoon, she could get a migraine. I'd tell you, oh no. So,
see, Craig did his first Whatnot show last night. He did some Magic the Gathering cards. It went pretty well for him. So.
Did it finish off? I didn't finish watching it, but I didn't buy any because I don't know the first thing about.
I don't either.
Cards.
I know how to sell them, but I have no idea what I'm selling. I did pretty well with my Magic cards. I did 2 different shows, and I made just out of those 2 shows about $300 on them. So I mean, there's money in them.
On here? No, there's no show here tonight. Why did I schedule it tonight? By mistake.
Sell some more tonight, Craig.
Craig sent me a message after. I'm sure he won't care. He's hooked now. So.
Yeah, if you can find the right things, it's definitely the way to go.
Seems kind of weird to make money off of a dead person,
Yeah, well,
just a little.
But you would do it all the time when we go to estate sales.
That's
it's just
true.
Not a famous dead person. Same thing.
So why did it do that? Why did it schedule? I scheduled these, and I chose. Ron, I'm glad you pointed that out. Thank you, sir.
I wisely chose to run the 3D printer in the background, so if it makes too much noise, let me know.
When I made this show, it was scheduled for Friday night.
So it's almost like a week or two ago at the auction, I bought some military stuff, and in there was a genuine Purple Heart award.
Oh boy.
Had the pin and the medal and the bar.
Right.
I ain't gonna sell that. That's
Are you even allowed to sell those? I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes you select because it's a drop down menu on EMA. I guess it didn't move, or it saved, or I moved it but it didn't save. Who knows? And I didn't catch it. I don't know. But it's Whatnot's about. It's about building an audience, but it's also about you've got to buy items that fit a platform, and I think that's the most difficult people have is not everybody, and I'm included in that. I don't want to sell everything on Whatnot because, like yesterday, I listed items that were $100 on eBay, and like I sold yesterday, I sold out of the blue. This is a good one. Let me grab it off. When y'all see it, nobody would have known what this was. And you tell me there's no way this the market for this thing is eBay. I mean, is Whatnot. All right, live stream, share screen.
I'll show you something I'll never sell on Whatnot. That hat. I just sold that hat for $159. But I might have got $20 on Whatnot. So
that's what I sold. I picked it up at a yard sale. I had to figure out what the heck it was. It was on a table with like 5 or 6 things, and the table was everything's a quarter. And it's a cuddle ribbon to some kind of card printer. I don't even know. I still am not sure what the printer looks like, but I grabbed it, and it took a little while to sell, but a quarter to 200. You shut the hell up. You're late. I ain't allowing you in. See original listing. There you go.
I sold some items last week. One for $450 and one for $375. Same item. Guy wanted both, so I gave him a deal.
Can you see it now, John?
Yeah.
I still don't know what those things were I sold last week.
There's the backside of it. I really had no clue what it was. I mean, I just looked up the numbers on the front of it, and there's a barcode there. And sure enough,
barcodes are your friend, that's for sure.
All right, let's get rid of that. Remove from scene.
Well, we're in the new house.
See that?
That is awesome.
It sounds empty.
It is.
You have a TV, and that's it.
A fireplace.
So my wife was telling me about your post that you made about your toilets and your internet. We had the same exact. The day we moved in, we had to replace 2 toilets, and it took like a month to get internet here. So,
well, the Mexican came. I really don't like the tile in the master bath, and it turned from fixing the toilet to he'll be here sometime in the next 15 minutes or so to tear out the freaking master bath, and we're going to remodel it.
Well, we ended up doing ours too, but
before we move in, we're going to do it before we move in.
Well, that's cool. You got a house. That's neat.
Yeah, and then I'm going to lock the doors in 3 weeks and not be back till February or March.
Oh my God.
Very nice.
We're going to Arizona for the winter.
All right, I want to get this thing, get rid of it. Oh, never mind. How about that? But it's so the one thing I bought at the yard sales last weekend that I bought that I'm going to look some of them up on eBay, but I think the vast majority will probably go Whatnot. I bought 2 boxes full of Mad magazines. And they're from the 70s to the 90s. I mean, I've probably got 300.
Wow. I saw that video. Those are cool.
Yeah, so I figured just start running them, maybe 4 on a lot, and just start them at a couple bucks and see what happens.
I'm gonna do a show on. I have Nintendo Power magazines, you know, the old ones, and I also have some strategy guides I'll throw in there and stuff like that.
Some of
That'll be a whatnot.
check some of those. Those are worth.
Oh,
Some
I've
of
already
those
sold the good ones. Trust me.
Okay.
I had the first edition of Nintendo Power. I forget. I think it had Mario on it, but that sold for quite a bit of money. That was a
Because
couple of
like
years
the
ago.
oldest one I've seen so far that I pulled out of there was a 1976. I knew it was old because it had Jaws on it, and Jaws was from the mid 70s. So it's. I didn't look the value of that one up, but
I just sold a
Yeah, I'm
Pokemon
going to put the
Pokemon
bird out
Emerald
there, Texas Bandit.
Pokemon Emerald strategy guide for $100. It had the map in it. It had all the inserts and everything. So those things, if you guys know, I mean, look, they were 50 cents a piece at a yard sale. So, and I've sold 3 or 4 of them now. There's a few in there that are under $10. I'll put those on Whatnot and let collectors have them. But
yeah, that's one of the things. I made a video when I got home. The video it was raining when I was making it out in the van. So many people don't go to yard sales in the rain, and I'm like, it's most depending on what part of the country you're from. They're either yard sales or you call them garage sales or rummage sale. But don't forget the garage part. There's so many people that just kind of back up into the garage and have it anyway because
you're already set up.
we talk about going to yard sales. We talk about great finds. The one thing we don't talk about yard sales is how hard they are to set up and what kind of time it takes. And people are not willing to reschedule. This might be the only Saturday they've got to do it. And if they've got a garage and a way to, because they're just looking to get rid of it anyway. And so if they sell a little less or a little less money, but they still get rid of a lot of stuff, they still consider that a victory. So don't quit. Just because it's inclement weather, we got a flood of rain this weekend. So what? I know Harlan and Marcia went out. I went out. My buddy Joe, we were all out. Everybody picked up. It's not the haul you wanted, but it's still.
I actually skipped this weekend because they were, getting a new fence and all, but kind of thought I'd like to be here to watch.
What, watch the fence?
Watch the guys put it up and help out when I can,
Oh, I was gonna. You can take them freaking iced tea. That's what you can do. You paid them to do it.
I didn't do much work. It's my brother-in-law and his crew, so.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't. Yeah, I picked up some branches and stuff.
So one of the things y'all don't see behind the scenes is last week my feelings of that, which I don't really have any. John tried to crush my feelings by messing with me over all the words that I was using last week. It was so terrible.
I missed it. Darn it.
But so the one thing, so I've been using, I've got a video coming out in the next day or two showing you List Easier. They are rapidly releasing categories to the beta now, so it should be out sooner rather than later. We're just trying to run through different categories. Like today, I'm going to test Blu-rays and DVD players. I've got a few to make sure it pulls all the correct information and everything is right. But I've already changed the way I've done some things, John. So the one thing I like about it is it'll show you all your listings that it makes, but it's got what's called it's got, you can change it to a table view on their program. And then, because I'm like, wait a minute, the table view is way faster than if I just, because I was taking pictures as I was looking them up and I'm like, that's not really fast. I'm like, so yesterday I'm like, what if I take all the pictures and then create them, and then once they're in a table, I just I split the screen, open it, and I look them up right there as I go one at a time in the same order. That was way faster. And so, because some things what the value is going to be. I know that a new I had DVDs. They were Wings. They were still sealed. Wings season 3, Wings season 4. There were a bunch of DVDs I knew had value. Ron, they just got the payment processor hooked up yesterday, Um, they could not even start the integration until they passed the audit. And once they passed the audit, then they started working on the integration to the payment process. There were only 14 categories and subcategories, and now I think there's closer to 50 right now. So they are. The thing you don't understand, and I didn't understand, is the way eBay and the back of house, front of house, the way they don't match is. And there's so many instances where eBay says, you need this item specific in order to list an item, but that item specific doesn't exist in that category. I mean, it is frustrating things like that they're having to fight through on categories. What is John got? Some kind of different kind of camera now? It's kind of zooming.
No, it's the same freaking camera.
You look down and it zoomed in closer to you. I'm like,
It must be in the camera setting.
yeah, it just moved back. See it? Did you see it?
No, it just shut off altogether.
It looks great, John. You're fine. I mean, it looks great.
All right.
But,
No, it's nice and clear.
yeah, no, it's fine. It's just moving with you, like you just gone fancy on us.
Well, that 5 gig, let me tell you something, that 5 gig internet, that shit's fast.
So yesterday, I don't know if Corey hosted Grams and Pops or if Chris Buck Mountain Barn hosted, but they do a show on Tuesday afternoon. It's just a working hangout, and that old computer over there, that's the first time I'd used the camera on it since I hooked it up to the fiber. And it went from I couldn't use it till I looked like a blurry, blobby mess to, wait a minute, this camera is better than any of the ones, and it's on a 2012 computer. I know, right, Craig? What the hell? If you're having issues, it might actually be your internet speed versus the equipment.
Carter,
Right.
I'll never move my business to frickin' Texas. Here's my Texas flag. I'm only here for my wife. That's it. Fuck all you Texans.
How about that? Let's
I don't know what they want me to tell you. I'm from the East Coast. This place sucks.
But I uploaded the last video I uploaded. It was 5 gig or 4.5 gig. It uploaded. I corrected the title and I went down to look at the thumbnail that it was going to put up, and I looked down and it said video upload complete. I'm like, holy crap!
Nice?
And I mean, it was less than 45 seconds because it didn't take me that long because the way Apple software works when it adds the whatever at the end of your title, the title, it adds what it was recorded in. So I had to go in and delete 4K and then come down, and it was done. I'm like, holy smokes.
They so fucking slow here. They just freaking mosey along like cattle.
But it's
That, you know what they do nice here? The one thing they got here that's really nice. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. They instill that in the freaking kids from the time they're born. You open the door and a kid goes in, he looks up and says, "Thank you, sir." That I'm not used to.
Ron, you're correct. There's no doubt in anyone's mind that John's a Yankee. You're never gonna get Yankee out of him.
I am who I am.
But it's been nice helping those guys find things, and I think you guys are gonna really once a few more of the issues are not, I know you guys are gonna really like it. It's but I'm telling you, be prepared to take full advantage, change the way you do things.
No, Arizona's worse, Hammer. Listen, my wife's not here, and she's in the RV sleeping. We were from sun up to sundown yesterday in here doing stuff, getting stuff ready. running here and there, and then we had our grandkids for 2 hours. This is not where I want to be. I am in the middle of the shopping area. Goodwill's 3 blocks that way. The mall's 5 blocks that way. Lowe's is 3 blocks that way. It's convenient for my wife. This house is very small. We gave up a lot of things that we wanted for the location because if something happens to me, she needs to be able to get around. The hospital's 11 blocks from here. I'm very centralized to where everything is, and it's not the life that I wanted at the end of it.
Most people don't realize, John, Lori doesn't drive, so.
So she said she wanted to be by her daughter and her 2 granddaughters. That's why we're here. I had no say in that at all.
If I had say, not that I don't have say. I'd love to move to North Carolina, down where her mom is, but we're not ready for that kind of move yet. And she doesn't want the hot and humid summers, and although we get that here too, just not as long.
And the dust storms here, the dust storms here.
Yeah, it's not nice if you're going to move to the south. You need to be ready. Like my phone today is screaming, heat advisory incoming. Like yesterday it was a comfortable. When I looked at the phone at 4:00 this afternoon, it was a comfortable 90 degrees. But the heat index was 105, 106 because the humidity was just unbearable. I mean, you walk outside and you're like, do I need a snorkel? Do I need an aqua lung? Do I need scuba gear? What is it? I can't breathe. I don't have gills yet. I can't breathe water. Another one today. Heat index. The high today is only 91 again, but we're under another heat advisory, heat index. They do that for any time and it's above 105 around here. Because you sweat, but you can't cool down because the sweat doesn't evaporate. Oh, it could do 109 today. Yeah. But it's so it just meant that I worked in here. I cleared some more tubs over there. Y'all can't see it, but I can actually wiggle right this second in here. I'm going to spend some time today listing and testing the categories that opened, and then I'm going to figure out what I've got a bunch of stuff to list coming out of these tubs.
So are your sales up
on eBay?
Mine are.
Wherever.
Let's see. What does eBay say? I went back to listing, John. In the last 31 days, I'm only up 127%. Imagine that.
Okay.
I took a week off.
My sales are up, and I'm wondering if the market's starting to soften again, if it's starting to turn around a little bit.
You know what it is? For us especially, and I think people are back to buying right this second. You're in one of the big seasons, the shopping seasons that most people don't think about. You're right in the middle of back to school season. There are a lot of people. So that I think there's some ancillary shopping where I need the kids' pair of shoes, and also I need to pick up this. So they're adding to their carts. They're buying because the convenience factor. I can't get little Johnny down to the mall, but I can get this while I think there's some of that going on right now.
My sales are up 13% for 2025.
Nobody cares what you do. Although I thought I have sold all these DVDs and Blu-rays and CDs, and after a week I have not put them on promoted listings, and they're still selling. So
the ones that the AI did the titles and stuff for.
So what?
The ones that you ran through that program.
Yeah, I've not promoted any of them. I wanted to see how good the program was, and if you artificially mess with it with promoted. And I
think promoted. You got to understand, Amazon's PPC and eBay's promoted listings are two totally different beasts
Correct.
because you have no control over what eBay does. Where Amazon, I can tell it, don't use these keywords, and I can refine it. But there's going to come a point where you have to do some kind of promoted listings
Right.
on the things that didn't sell without it. Now, for somebody like Todd, who doesn't care if it sells or not, you know,
Not promoted.
it doesn't really matter. But for somebody like you that has to worry about it, but for
We don't need that
somebody
kind of
like you,
negativity first thing in the morning.
you know, you're putting these processes and systems in place. Look at maybe adding after 30 days. I put 2% promoted listings on. What happens at that point?
Right. And that's what I'm trying, John, because I don't want to. And I know the ones that are left over are going to need them, going to fight and search a little bit, but
Because I found on Amazon, if I lower my price and promote it with PPC, it doesn't sell as well as if I just add one or the other.
I'll be real fucking gentle.
I discount it 10% and it sells better. But if I do 10% discount and add PPC to it, my sell-through rate slows down.
then I think eBay too. People see, here's the mistake I think people made, and it's along those same lines on eBay, is they think, I don't want to give, I don't want to give eBay any more money. I would just rather lower the cost of the product. And I think the mistake they're making there is you're not incentive. You're taking away the incentive for eBay to push you up in search, to do things. And instead of, if you're gonna take 10% off, or you're gonna spend 10%, you're better off paying that to eBay versus lowering the price.
You're still losing it either way.
Either way, it's the same. But so many people are so dead set against it. It's the same money. Figure out, okay. Or I think combination might work better on eBay, John, because you're still in the way promoted listings work that are different in PPC is you're still paying them to push you up, your visibility up. And when your visibility is up but a lower price, I think that is the combination on eBay that works.
You guys tried that new lower your price after so many days thing on eBay yet?
I have not. I know several people that have. I have not.
I've been using it, but it's too early to tell what it'll do. But
That's the problem. It depends on how you set it up, and it'd be hard for somebody like me.
the good thing about that lower your price, sometimes I'm using it for once a month and sometimes 7 days and whatever. It depends on the product, but you can set a cap at the bottom. You can set a low price cap, so you never go below what you really want for it.
Yeah. Timothy, I think the big part of it is how Amazon views my change. A 10% will give you a badge on Amazon, which is going to push you naturally up in search. And the PPC may drag it down a little. It may be counterintuitive in their algorithm, which sounds crazy, but it could be that problem.
Right. I think that badge is important, John. I don't think people realize that as that thing stays on there for whatever period of time it is, it draws the customer's attention to it. And also, if you've got any of these add-ons like Honey or all these things on your, it attracts attention to those kind of tools that are designed to tell the customer, hey, if you were looking at this, here's a better deal. So does Amazon, if there's a price drop and you've got it like saved or on a want list, do they send you an email saying, hey, the price has dropped?
I believe they do.
I think they do too. I was just wanting to ask you because you'd be more familiar. Whereas they're not going to send an email out saying, "Hey, Flags decided to up their PPC. Check them out." They're not. They don't send that email out. And so it's counterintuitive. You would think that by giving Amazon more money to promote the product, that would necessarily push sales like it would on eBay, but they don't work. You're right. The two programs do not work the same.
And I sell consumables, so I have repeat buyers. My repeat buyer rate on Amazon is like 16% right now. So they're coming back and buying the product over again. So when I put it on sale and they get an email, they go, "Oh yeah, I need that." It kind of triggers a sale there. I'm starting to look at that stuff more and more where I never did before. Because I sold for so long in the Wild West where you just threw shit up and it sold.
Yeah, like I was on Corey just came in here. So Corey, instead of looking up all those dolls, I decided I was just gonna. So I bought a. I was at a yard sale a few weeks ago, and it was the holiness ladies were selling things. They were starting to raise money to replace the piano in the church. And I asked, they had a bunch of dolls laying there, and I asked them how much are they, and she said you can have them all for $1, and it was enough to fill up like one of these plastic tubs. But I don't want to look up each individual one, but I'll take the pictures and let the AI lister pick those up because I don't have a clue who they are or what they are.
What are they, like Barbie dolls?
Yeah, the vast majority of them are Barbie, but there was some big head ones. There was some chubby Barbies in there, and I'm like, how is this body image Barbie and it's just normal Barbie? The other one looks like she's. If you look at regular Barbie, you go, either she is like prepubescent, she's in elementary school, or she's in serious need of a hamburger. I mean, it's just terrible. The regular. So that's why I decided to wait until that toy category opens, and when it does, I figured it would be a good test of their program to see how it picks up each one of them. Did we hear about the Annabelle doll? No. And no, I'm not looking it up on YouTube. Yeah. So they were in here, so they're going through the building until that opens up. John, you need some battery. You got a smoke detector chirping. Is that you that's chirping?
Yeah. My handyman ain't here yet. As soon as he gets here, I'm gonna show him which one it is.
I heard about the Annabelle doll.
Excuse me.
So the guy who handled the Annabelle doll and took it on tour suddenly died while he was out on tour with the doll. That's the story.
Cool.
Is that the same? Is that the one that was in Josh? What's his name's museum in Vegas?
I don't know if it's the exact same one, but you would think so because that's supposed to be the original doll. I didn't read any of the stories. I just read the headlines, so I don't know.
My youngest son is reading The Exorcist right now. And he said, "Did you read this?" I said, "Yeah, I saw it in the movie theater." I said, "I saw that movie when people were allegedly having heart attacks and dying." I said, "That movie, 10-year-olds would watch that movie now and go, what bullshit."
Yeah.
I said, but back in that day, it just scared people.
So it happened in Gettysburg. Interesting.
Yeah, he was a young man. He wasn't that old either.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all BS.
Well, I'm sure it was a natural
Yeah.
cause.
Him dying, yeah. I'm talking about it's Annabelle.
I don't think the doll had anything to do with it, but
I have a haunted house. Okay, my house is gonna be haunted.
But you know what?
The first
Now's the time to sell your Raggedy Ann dolls.
Why?
But it was
because that's what Annabelle's modeled after.
Is it?
So it's very interesting. One of the things I was flipping through TikTok, what's his name? Is his I think maybe was it Sean Ryan that was talking to a priest, somebody like that was interviewing a priest who had just gone through exorcism school. Was it Sean Ryan or was it another one of these folks? And talking about that psychics and stuff are not talking to your, they're not talking to your dead relatives. They're probably talking to a demon. And very interesting to talk about, hear about the things he's gone through, because he went to Vatican and went through all the training to do exorcisms. What's up, Brian? How you doing, man?
There's only one legend here. Just like you know.
Yeah, that smoke detector chirping. That's the legend.
That ain't me.
That's me. Deal with it.
No, but it's scary. What they've done to Michael Knowles, they've tried to debank him for his views. It's folks, and unless you stand up and fight, I'm going to tell you this right now. As much as I think Trump is doing good, I think Trump is being used, whether he knows it or not. And I'm on the fence. I can go either way on that. There's too many things he's done that push the digital ID forward, and the digital. I mean, he has accelerated our push towards a cashless society, whether you want to see that or not. Whenever the first thing they start pushing is the Star ID, and they could have done this and they could have done that to force everybody to get the Star ID. That had been delayed and delayed and delayed, and all of a sudden, why does the Trump administration not delay it?
You talking that real ID thing?
The real ID.
Yeah.
The real ID is the beginning steps to a national digital ID, and then moving to cashless society, moving to the same controls that the government has in. Go look at China, as the social controls. If you so Beard, that can never happen. Look to our neighbors, the parasitic neighbors from the north. Them Canadians.
I got to
It's
run.
going to be our 51st and 52nd, 53rd states. So shut the hell up.
Alberta might defect, but I don't know about the rest.
Look at what's the number one thing that the Canadian government did to the truckers and the truckers, all those folks. They debanked them. You can't function without banks. And I mean, just think if you had to go through your life with no bank, no credit, no cards, no nothing. That you had to physically go do cash. What kind of car are you buying? How are you getting this car? What kind of, how are you buying a house? Any kind of large purchase. Maybe you find a slumlord like Jacob who lets you pay cash, but even then he's going to charge you extra.
Because you got to process it. I asked my banker one time, I said, what would happen if people just came in here and they got enough cash out of their bank account to live off of, no using debit cards, none of that kind of stuff, paying their bills and whatnot. She says, we don't want that.
They'd have to close. They don't carry that much money.
They don't want that because then they'll have to have people to count that money and have to keep up with it. And the people, the feds that they get all their cash from. What's that? Anyway, they would have to have more people because all these banks and whatnot would be getting cash. And she said, we don't want that. That's just more work on us.
So if you don't believe me, go to the bank this afternoon and try to withdraw, say, $8,000.
You don't even. I just withdrew $24.85, and they made me show my driver's license, which they know me at the bank, and send me a text message that I had to give them the code for at the bank in person.
There's tons of stories of people taking out money less than $10,000, just normal, and they're wanting to know what you're going to do with it. And the purpose of why you're needing that kind of cash. And if they decide that they don't believe you, they don't give it to you. They don't give you your own. Go look online. There's tons of stories. Are these? Oh, beer.
That's when it gets personal, and then that's when I go out there and I take out $5,000 out of the teller machine, and then I go to the one next door to it and I take 5,000. So their people are having to run around and restock cash machines. I mean,
You want to know what's really hilarious? Is my wife accidentally made a purchase on Whatnot. She bought a pallet for like $5,500 accidentally.
a what?
There's a pallet of clothing.
Oh,
Her thumb slipped when we were getting in the yard. She was in the giveaway, and anyway, long story. That purchase went straight through, no problem. But I go to the bank to pull out $2,500, and they need me to do all sorts of hoops to jump through just to get the money. It's crazy. You can do it on the credit. Somebody steals your credit card, they can take all the money they want. But if you're doing it in person, they want to know what you're doing.
and there's a lot of places you don't even have to add your use your PIN. That you swipe it and you're approved. If it's
I
under
never
like
understood that.
$50.
If you hit the green button, it just goes through. What the hell? You don't even need the pin. Run it that way. I've never understood that.
Yeah, so it's a slippery slope that we are, and whoever up there said you don't need cash anyway. There, it is. Last time I checked, it's not the government's role to babysit me and control me and do whatever they can to me. Nowhere in the Constitution is any of that we've allowed this. Good people have sat back for a long time and just done nothing.
Well,
You have right now, it's being proven and documents are coming out of the things that we already know, that a sitting U.S. president committed treason against the incoming U.S. president, folks. Do you not understand where we are as a country and in this world and the people that control this world and want to know what you do with every dime of your money and don't want you to have cash and want to be able to take a portion of everything you own until you die? Because they can and they rule you, and that's why the way they allow it to happen, because we do nothing about it. A sitting U.S. president committed treason against the incoming president. Oh, but look at Watergate. Watergate wasn't shit. Watergate was the apparatus getting rid of a president because he said that he was going to do what Trump is doing. I'm going to reduce the government and I'm going to get rid of I'm going to severely limit the CIA. And they said, oh, no, you're not. We're going to set you up. Goodbye. Go look at what Nixon said. He said, I did nothing wrong. I had 62% of the vote. I had a mandate from the people. Who says that? Oh, wait a minute. Trump says the exact same thing. And what do? They've tried to kill him multiple times. Folks, I'm telling you right now, until you guys wake up and understand the danger that your own government proposes, you don't live in a free society. Why am I paying property taxes on something that I bought and paid for? I don't owe anything to this government because I've paid it on once. Just think about the amount of money you give them. Oh, Beard, I just pay my taxes. Think about how many times every dollar you earn is taxed. I'm willing to bet that you pay 60 to 70% back, that you get less.
I got to address the chat real quick. Harlan says Bigfoot still isn't real. Bite your tongue, Harlan. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I think if Alberta really pushes it to succeed from the Canadian Confederacy, I really think that's going to rethink. It's going to cause a lot of people to rethink things, because their whole reason for wanting to succeed is for the fact that they're not being heard, and they're producing all of this money, and it's going to the federal government, their federal government, and they're not getting any of it back. And those people are just tired of being left out when.
Folks, I'm telling you, go look at these laws. Go look at the laws in Canada, and what happens to you if you say something negative about the government on social media. Go to England right now, and profess Christ as your personal savior, and see what the Muslim-led government is going to do to you. Folks, we are at a time in history where these governments are going to. Folks, I'm expecting to look at the skies and see Christ walking into us any minute. we live in scary times, whether y'all want to believe it or not, and y'all think, oh, the old man is crazy. The old man is not crazy.
Especially when Todd's older.
Really, so if you really want to understand and think about Israel and how Israel and all the end times go through Israel, and then you talk and you think about this. Somebody was explaining this the other day, and it made crazy sense. Take the colors of the riders of the apocalypse horses, and then look at the flags of the countries that surround Israel, and you'll go, "Oh my God, is it a coincidence that every single one of those countries that is prophesied to surround Israel or come against Israel all have the colors of the horses' riders?" Is it? You think that's a coincidence? Is that a coincidence you believe in? Come on. This is, and y'all want to know, I'll tell people, why have you lost 5,000 subscribers on the channel in the last 5 years? Because I'll tell you what I think and I'll tell you the truth. It's insane. Hit them with silicone shadows.
And people, as far as the YouTube thing goes, people have thinned back their viewers, what channels they subscribe to, because they've just lost interest in that
YouTube's a
channel.
perfect example, Tom.
Right.
Say the wrong thing. Say what the control apparatus doesn't want you to say. They cut you out. They take your channel. They kick you to the side. For God's sakes, the people that are lying to you, call it disinformation when you speak truth. The people that are in charge of lying to you call the truth misinformation, and the sheep go, he was terrible. I can't believe he was lying to us like that. Go get him.
Okay, I'm going to start off this statement by saying, don't forget I have a morning show at 9:00 tomorrow morning in case I disappear. Did you see where? Did you see where
I'll be right out.
Scott's former
I gotta run,
president's
guys.
son
The contractor's here, so
has been bad mouthing Trump, talking about him being, just calling him all kinds of names. This
Who
is
has?
the drug dealing, coke snorting, person. I'm just
How much is
even the people interviewing him like, wait a minute.
I'm gonna go back and just name it Eric the True Show, because how much of it is conspiracy when the vast majority of it comes true?
Okay, what was it? Boy, y'all talking to.
How many people out there right now are watching as the government kills people by the thousands? Go look in Western North Carolina and what they did with weather manipulation of a hurricane, and then go look in Texas where they killed all those people with weather modifications. Is it an accident that where was there flooding in New York? There's flooding in Jersey. There's flooding every damn where, and they just so happened that don't look at the planes flying through the clouds. They're not doing anything. They're just they quit seeding a couple days before. It couldn't be anything related to it. Isn't it weird how that front just stalled out like that, and we figured out how to make hurricanes and stuff in the '60s make a right turn? Isn't it weird how that happened? It just went to North Carolina and just sat there. Isn't that weird? It just so happened to be on right over the silicon mines, and we're taking land from people and on rock bottom dollars, and it's all going through BlackRock. Isn't that weird? Go look at California right now and see how many places are being, or Hawaii, and see how many houses are being redone.
If Scott was a Democrat, he would have his own show on MSNBC right now.
Folks, we live in a time where this government needs to be bombed and start over again, because it is so corrupt to the core that even if Trump changed a ton of stuff, it's just a temporary thing, and it's going to go right back to business as normal. Oh yeah, Eric, that's the best thing you can do. We all should be out there painting the roofs blue.
What does that mean?
Because the apparatus that they've used to burn these places doesn't affect blue. The houses with blue roofs didn't burn. It's like the Passover. The mark you mark the door frame with the blood of the
Lamb's
lamb.
blood. Yeah.
He skipped your house. This is the blue roof. I mean, it's not an accident that everybody is trying to go organic because they are now seeing in the chemicals and everything that are in our food that the U.S. population eats the exact same thing the rest of the world does, but ours are so chemically poisoned that we don't live as long as Europeans. And so as you go more organic, one of the most evil SOBs on the planet decides that he's going to come up and make this coating to go over on your fruit called a peel or whatever it's called. Um, and the government goes, you know what? You can put that on fruit, and they can still call it organic, even though you've Gates has put his slimy chemical shit on there that we don't know what the fuck's in it because he won't tell you what's in a peel. And it's one of the few times where you're allowed to put additives on food products and not tell the consumer what it's made out of.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's going to make your fruit last longer. It's going to kill you, but look at the fruit, how pretty it is. Folks, it's insane the times we live in and how blind people are to a lot of this stuff. Can't.
I agree with you, Chastity.
Somebody, do we got anybody listening in Louisiana? Any single ladies? Kent needs some. He needs some attention. Something terrible.
Kent. This is his own special person. Let's see.
Oh, L.S. Basher. We absolutely the corruption that comes from this country. And I saw an interesting one the other day. You know how close we were, folks. If you're young and don't realize what happened in the '60s and the threat of nuclear war, it was a retired government official or somebody, and they were going through some archives, and they're like, "We are so fortunate that Castro did not retaliate for the Bay of Pigs and fire on the U.S." This person in the know is saying that Castro did fire, but it malfunctioned and the rockets didn't launch. Is that crazy? Go look at Castro. Castro is a perfect example. Castro was an evil bastard, killed a lot of people, brought communism and death to Cuba. Who put Castro in power?
The Cuban people. The Cuban people.
That would be wrong. Who put Castro in power? Todd, you're old enough. You were still alive when Castro was around. Who put him in power?
President Johnson.
Is that the Che Guevara guy?
The CIA.
CIA.
That's right, Johnson. President Johnson.
There you go, JT. Thank you, my friend. He was a counter-revolutionary, and we decided that he was better than the government that was there. And so we toppled the government in Cuba and stuck Castro there, and they killed thousands and thousands of people and damn near lost the country to a failed launch. The United States of America put communism in Cuba. Go look at the history of Libya. Why did we go after Gaddafi? Because he gave back to his people. They were a well-run country, and they had said, we're out. We're out of your banking system. We're out of everything. We don't need y'all anymore. We have money from oil. We can survive without the Federal Reserves and the central banks of the world. And you know what the central bank said? Die. We will destroy your country. We don't give two craps about you. What do you think they'll do to you? Oh, but I'm an American. They won't do anything to me. Horse shit. We do need food laws like Europe. You're 100% correct.
Yeah, because they don't eat a lot of stuff. They don't allow a lot of stuff that we eat to be put into their food.
You want proof? Mountain Dew. How many people do love and drink Mountain Dew in this country? Mountain Dew is banned in 164 countries worldwide because of the dyes and additives in Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is banned in 164 countries. Think about that. One of the larger soft drinks in this country, consumed by millions every single day, is banned in 165 countries.
If you watch a YouTube channel called Jolly, it's these two British guys that go around and they basically eat food.
Yeah, I've seen those guys.
They have a couple episodes. They do a lot of stuff where they have American food they bring in, and these boys at an English boys' school they sample them, and they do like biscuits and gravy, by the way. But they talk about this is good. Why don't we? They sell that over here. And the one of the guys that hosts the show say, "Well, look at the ingredients," and he's like, we don't. They don't allow that here. You know, all the food colorants, they don't allow that here." And so it's really interesting. Even the kids know, you know, about the things that they're not allowed to eat, or they're not allowed to eat, but they cannot put in their foods manufactured over there.
Eric, that's on purpose. How do you whenever people wake up and whenever they start seeing the truth about what is happening around them, you don't have to go as far as I have. You don't have to go to flat earth like I do. You don't have to go that far. But if you see that the same people that control the food supply also control the drug companies, and you go look at Monsanto and what Monsanto is doing to this. You want to know one of the biggest killers worldwide is Monsanto, for God's sakes, and what they put on, and go look at how they control the food supply with the seeds of corn and everything else they do. There's these companies. The same companies are heavily invested. The same companies that own the food supply companies own the doctors. Go look at starting to come out now about the doctors and how do you trick the folks. Most doctors, I believe, are like 2 inches away from a witch. There's not much difference between a doctor and a witch doctor. Start looking and thinking about it with an open mind, and you'll go, well, I'll be damned. Except for having there's some surgeons and stuff that have some skills. I'll give it that, but regular, just general practitioners have high blood pressure and go to the doctor, and they're going to just start throwing medicine at it until they fix it. If you went to a witch doctor, they just start throwing stuff at you till they try to fix it. There's not a ton of difference. And so how do you convince in 2021, how do you convince the doctors to get on board and with all these vaccinations that they want to reduce your life and kill the population and reduce lifespan? Throw money at them. If you get so much of your people vaccinated, they were cash rewards to these doctors. This stuff is coming out. They were paying these doctors. Your doctor who suggested that you get vaccinated was being rewarded financially hundreds of thousands of dollars for you to take the damn clot shot. How many people had to die so that they could get money? Eric, they're not ready for Hitler. They're not ready to understand that Hitler was supported by the war machine in the U.S. Who made Hitler happen? The big business in the United States and the banks from around the world supported Hitler. His rise to power, his rise to everything. Y'all are not ready for that. Y'all are not ready for that. Because if you start looking at that, it starts making. And I'm not going that far because that one a lot of you would just turn off. Yeah, y'all are not worried. Y'all are not ready for that thought. One day y'all will be ready for that thought. One day you'll be. I mean, look at what happens in out of control government. Look at Mao. Go over and look at the 60, 70, 80, 100 million people his government killed. Look at Stalin. Everybody stops looking at Stalin after because they get so focused on Germany and that kind of stuff. After World War II, how many people died in Russia?
Stalin was a nutcase. He was he killed how many millions of his own people?
They're estimating 40 to 50 million people he killed of his own people. We're not talking about wars around the world. We're talking. This is Mao and Stalin killing their own people. Oh, but the United States government would never do that. Come down to Alabama, and we'll go down to Tuskegee, and all the experiments. Look at Camp Lejeune. Lejeune is the proper pronunciation. And how many people have gotten sick from the water there? A problem they knew about and did nothing about. Go to Flint, Michigan, folks. I'm telling you, all over this country, they have. One day you'll be ready to look at the orphan trains. One day. The orphan trains that went west. The orphans of the 1800s. That's a wacky world to look at the World's Fair. And one of the largest attractions in some of these World's Fairs were babies in incubators. I'm not making this shit up. Go look it up. I am not making this up. Go look it up.
Scott's too heavy for this early in the morning.
It's insane, man. And these are the people you want to trust with your IDs and no cash, and whether you're allowed to do something. The most evil people in the world should not be the ones telling you what you can and can't do. Oh, America's real free. That's an illusion. Your freedom, from the minute you were born through the education system. Just think about this. The education system has been designed by big business to produce employees with the force of the federal government that if you don't go to it, they put you in jail and put your parents in jail. Homeschooling is now available, but, let little Johnny not go to school for a week and see what happens.
Homeschooling is big.
It is big.
It is, and it's growing every day. Because this was back like in March, and there was a woman and her kids were walking by. I said, "Oh, school's out." I said, "It's been a long time since I've had kids in school. Are school kids out this week?" She says, "We homeschool."
Tom, it's amazing going to yard sales. It's rare our week go by that there's not homeschool supplies for sale.
Yeah.
I mean, it is rare, and that's something you never saw before. And now I see it almost every week. And just think about Huntsville, Alabama, and the heavily educated society that is a lot of Huntsville. Remember, Huntsville's got more engineers per capita than any city in the country. This is a highly educated population. There's a couple bad schools around, but for the most part, there's pretty solid schools around because of and it's not anything to do with the government and the government schools. It's the fact that there's so many smart people here, mixed in with us rednecks, that their children are going to be above average. You know what I mean? If you've got someone who's got an engineering degree, chances are their kid is pretty good at playing the school game. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thinking. So you've got good schools. No. Even the government can't screw these up when you've got smart people in them, and you see a lot of what these people are. Whenever the people that are the smartest are starting to go, wait a minute, maybe I could do a better job. There's reasons why two families work, and one of the big reasons too is mama can't stay at home and homeschool and do the things she needs to do to raise her children. If mama and daddy both have to work.
But daycare has gotten so expensive. Daycare has gotten so expensive.
How do people afford that? I don't get it.
We're talking $1,700 to $2,000 a month in this area.
Flip it good. That's another good one.
What's that?
Agent Orange. Our own government would not put a carcinogen and spray on its own soldiers, would they? No, the government wouldn't tell us to use that kind of chemical agent and then spray it accidentally on purpose on our own soldiers. Come on now, give me a break. But the home, daycare time. I remember how expensive it was when Jacob was young. I can't imagine how.
It's very expensive here.
Is it to the break-even point where you're better off without it and not working? Because what kind of salary does the second parent have to cover daycare these days to make it worth it?
I told my son and his wife, both of them have really good paying jobs, and I said, y'all need to sit down and think about it. How much you going to be paying in daycare versus all the expenses of working? The fact that when they get into school or nursery school and they have a fever, so somebody has got to tell their boss, I got to go home because I got to go pick up my kid because they're sick. I mean, all of that stuff comes into play that they need to think about. And are they willing to make the commitment for a few years? Because, like I said, just having to go in and say, "Hey, boss, I got to leave. I got to leave."
I agree with you. If I had to put up with 10 to 20 other people's kids too.
I mean, that's just in the industry that you were in.
That's what I was a babysitter, for God's sakes.
You had to somebody. I mean, because they really don't have a choice. Because schools are supposed to, they call you and say you need to come get your child because they're running a fever, you're supposed to stop what you're doing and come to them and get their child, or they can call DSS. That's how much control it is.
150 to 250 a week.
Todd, where do you Todd, did any of your boys play in the band?
Yeah.
Did they? I was just curious. You
both
never
of them
mentioned
did.
it.
So do they sing the band director song to you, thinking you're going to pass shortly? The leader of the band. That's a great song. If you do, I'm just teasing Todd, but if you look up the history of that song and him writing it for his father and those kind of things, that's a cool song.
CT, you're correct. Daycare is out of this world around here.
Yeah, that's also
one of the reasons. That's also one of the reasons that a lot of companies are only I can work part time. I'm a bookkeeper. I can work time. I can work from 9 in the morning to 2 in the afternoon because my kids are in school then. And they're like, fine. First of all, you're not full time, so they don't have to pay you benefits. And two, at least, they have a qualified person working, and that's, they're getting their stuff done, hopefully.
So daughter's Graham runs a daycare. She can watch 7 kids by herself. Good money if you love kids.
I don't love. I love my kids.
I love kids. I think they're a wonderful little blessing. Doesn't mean that I can put up with them. There's a difference.
I love kids. I'm looking so forward to when my grandson gets here. But dealing with 7 kids every day, and having to deal with their parents, no. That's the reason it costs so much.
It's not the kids that most teachers quit teaching for.
It's the parents.
It's the BS from government. It's all the rules handed down by government and state.
So there's a big change that's happening that's going to affect reselling greatly. Corey, I think you're smart. You're way smart on this subject. I saw you come in here and say hello. I don't know if you ran out of here screaming yet, but
who is he?
Grams and Pops resell.
Okay.
He's the Pops.
Okay.
So this week, ChatGPT announced the coming of the agent, the chat agent, the AI agent, and so what they are saying is, and you need to do your research into this and understand how powerful this is. So for your $20 a month, if you sign up for that $20 a month plan, you get 40 agent accesses per month. If you have the $200 a month, I think you get 200, 400. I can't remember the number. Corey was talking about it yesterday. But they are saying that if you can do it with a computer, that your AI agent can do it.
All right, I got to go pick up a cat. So
Meow. Oh, damn, it's 10:11.
yeah, we had a one of those stray cats neutered, so I got to go get it this morning.
I know, Doug. If the overlords in California catch you listening to something like this, they're probably on their way to arrest you right now.
All right,
All right.
see y'all later.
Bye, Todd. It's
But it's being said that if you can do it with a computer, you can train this thing to do it. And so, an AI agent is basically what it's what Tom, when you listen to John the last few weeks talk about Donna and the thing he's trying to train AI to do. It's the next evolution of that where it's already trained to do these things. So, like, you could tell it, go on. Here's 100 photo. You could put photos in a Dropbox account and tell it every morning at 8 a.m. I want you to go into this Dropbox and create the eBay listings from the pictures that are in there, and make them as drafts, or because I think it won't. So it can't pay. So you could tell it, I like Nike 270 shoes, blue with a white stripe, size 10. Check for these are my price, how much I want to pay for them. Could you find me a pair on the internet? And it will go locate them, give you the shipping options, and come back and tell you, I have found the shoes you're looking for. You just need to enter your payment information. You could give it a shopping list, and it could go to Walmart. Tell AI, this is what I want for dinner tonight. Order this at Walmart. To be delivered, all the things to be delivered today, and it'll say, I have done that. You just need to enter your pay information. Anything you can do on a computer, it can do for you.
is that
Doug, they're releasing it out there for just this stuff is in. If it's weak now, by the turn of the year, which and the way time is, I agree with some people. I think they've sped up time. Oh my God, time is flying, folks. We're over halfway through 2025, for God's sakes, and where did it come from? When 2026 rolls around, what AI agents will be able to do for you? I've got 20 pictures. Remove the backgrounds from them and make eBay listing. You can do this long, complicated prompt and tell it to check this folder every morning, and this is what I want you to do to make all these into drafts. I'm telling you, there's a time coming to where you can tell the computer anything you can do on a computer, you can get the agent to do for you.
I thought ChatGPT could only it had a certain number of years in there that it could search for. Can it search from
That was
current
when it
stuff
was
now?
first starting. That was when it was first starting out. The
Okay.
newer paid versions go infinity.
Oh, and it also comes forward to current.
Correct. When it first came out, there was limitations of the computing power and the computer space, but all that's been they had to, Tom, because the competitors that were out there, the Groks of the world, were killing them because they didn't have such limitations, and so that's been.
I keep getting Facebook messages, not messages, but like ads. There's some a chat like a Chat GPT knockoff that doesn't have any. Apparently, you can get to do some pretty dodgy stuff with that Chat GPT, and nobody's monitoring what you're doing. Um, that's one of the things I was reading an article about, that people are really concerned about Chat GPT, or the
AI models.
AI models, whatever you want to.
They're called AI language models. The language learning models.
They can
LLMs.
do some pretty creative
So,
stuff.
I'm telling you, the computer work is if you're white collar, this is the first time in history they've come for white collar jobs. right now, you'd be insane to decide that you're going to go to college to be an accountant right now. You're going to go to college to do whatever. That's something that's that. Okay, so I'm going to go and like Tracy's having this battle now, trying to convince his daughter that clothing design and that kind of stuff, there's not a future in it with the computers and what the computer can do. You need to be the one controlling the computer. If you need to be the CAD designer, you need to be something that has control over it, because the end user is just going to be so easy.
Here's where the money's going to be in the future.
Yeah, can you come fix
HVAC,
my toilet? Can you come fix my
HVAC,
toilet?
HVAC, plumbing, carpentry.
Yeah, the trades.
All that's where the money's going to be at.
Can you
Because if
weld?
it's
Can you do?
110. If my air conditioner goes out, if they come out and say it's going to cost $7,000 to replace it because it can't be fixed, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be handing them my damn card saying swipe it. A roof, your house is leaking. You're going to pay whatever it costs to have a roof put on it, or you're not going to be living there.
They replaced a roof in this neighborhood last week. That crew, I'm like, how do they survive? Heat index of 103, 104 in Alabama on the roof of a house. Those guys, man, they're
That's
tough.
because most of them, when the people that put our house on last summer, and they did it in a day. And they
Yeah,
were
they did the vacuum.
they were all from Central America and South.
It looked
You
the
know,
same here. They were definitely Latin descent.
and they were up there hustling it. But that's where the money's going to be made, because people don't want to do that because it's nasty and dirty. I mean, changing your oil in your car, it costs you $100 to take it someplace and have it done, minimum.
No, it's cheaper than that. You can go to Walmart. Let's see what Walmart charges.
I'm gonna move to Alabama.
I told you Alabama's closed.
I'll bring enough money.
Services,
I'll bring enough money with me
auto
that they'll open it
care.
back up.
I need an oil change bad. Let's schedule an oil change. Packages from just $26.
Really?
Synthetic oil, a full synthetic premium oil change is $57.88 at Walmart.
Well, that takes too long to drive to our Walmart.
The van and the car both need oil changes. So.
Yeah, picking the winning lottery numbers. God, I wish.
I implore you to look at what an agent can do and to understand the power that is these things. Don't get left behind. And just use your imagination for what can you get it to do for you. It's that's another one. The people that are stay up on AI and don't get behind and can get it to do these things. Hello from work. Glenn's in another good one. Selling motorcycle parts. People are all going to need to fix these things.
I'm telling you, that's where the money's at. Is everything that people don't want to deal with.
Correct.
And that right now we don't have the technology.
And I think reselling is still safe for a while. That might be a contrary opinion to some people. AI is coming in and will change the way we do some things. But like out in my front seat of my car is he was in the video. It's a 1985 Hulk rules, big plush. I had him riding around the seat yesterday like he was a passenger. Because I wanted to show him to the guys last night. He's in really, really nice shape. To go out and find things like that, AI is not going to be able to go to a yard sale to see what's at a yard. I mean, there's still an active for a lot of reselling that most people that I know do. Not a John who was doing. The AI can replace John today, whether he wants to admit it or not.
Grumpy John.
Yeah, Grumpy John. It could do everything he does in his business right now. An AI agent could. But they go out and, like most of us, to go out and find, to search thrift stores, to search it, because there's not enough money in the thrift store for a thrift store to put their inventory online. So there's still a manual part of hunting and searching.
Well, we know that as far as companies and packing items automated is possible, because Tupperware does it for years, where everything's got a barcode on it, it knows where it's at, and it goes and picks it. These little cranes run around and grab stuff out of bins and put it in a box. The hardest part's going to be what you were just talking about, going out and sourcing the stuff.
Correct.
I mean,
there will be some bigger players who can go source lots of, will buy about it, but all that happens today, and none of that affects, so the video, I'll make a follow up video to the shipping one to $3.99. How can they sell a DVD for $3.99? So it's a 2-part answer to the question. So the beard has not lost his mind yet. There are smaller sellers that are not seeing what is happening, and so they are matching the price of two larger sellers that are selling some DVDs at $3.99. The secret to the larger sellers is all those $3.99s that they sell are in a sale program where if you buy 2, you get 1 free. So they are trying to get you. They're going to lose money every time you buy 1, but if you buy 2, they make money. And then you get 3 for 2, and so your price drops. So for $7.98, you get 3 DVDs, and so a lot of people will do that, and so they are counting on the fact that is where they're making. But you've got so many people who are following behind and going, well, the $3.99 is what it sells for. I'm gonna match the lowest price, and you're gonna lose money.
CT says I wouldn't go to school for accounting. I'm a career accountant. Let's just take your federal income tax, your state income tax. Most people now, because a friend of mine that I went to high school with, he's an accountant down in Columbia. He's a CPA. Works for one of the big 3. He's like, he goes to all these professional meetings and whatnot, from the community. And he was talking to this one guy. He said, taxes used to be 90% of my work. He said, I worked basically 24 hours a day from January the 2nd to the end of April. And he said, in the last couple of years, he said it's dropped by 25%. Last year, it dropped 50%. Because the way the tax structure is now, people are not having to file anything except the short form. And you can go online and file it for free because of the way they've just got things scheduled now. So,
somebody said, CT said that and a lot of good comments today, said Microsoft built an AI lister for Goodwill videos on YouTube. If I was running eBay, I can tell you the first thing I would do. I'd ban every Goodwill. The first thing I would do if I was the CEO of eBay, I'd ban every Goodwill. And Beard, why would you go to that step? You're just a reseller. Why would you ban Goodwill? Go look at their listings. Their listings are absolutely garbage. So they sell a lot of. I guess a lot of that stuff must be what they build their DVDs and stuff on. So you go look at a Goodwill's listing for a DVD. The listing will have a price that will be competitive, or actually it'll be lower than the rest of them. But then you start reading it, and it'll say, it may not contain artwork. It may not contain box. You don't have a fucking clue what you're buying, and you've got customers that are buying products from these Goodwills that are putting up this stuff at random through these machines, probably through the same program. The customer has no idea. I can't imagine the negative perception of eBay that you get because the customer may not contain original artwork, may not contain box. So you're buying it. You don't know whether you're getting designing women. You don't know whether you're getting designing women. You don't know whether you're getting designing women. You don't know whether you're getting designing women.
I'm back.
That's the way it is. And that is just a DVD category. First thing I would do is ban every damn one of them until you can, because the part of online selling is you've got to, what happened to the picture of the actual item? All these people with these, and you'll see a stock photo. It'll be an absolute stock photo of a perfect stock photo, and this is what you end up with because it says may not contain, may not contain, may not contain. How about you may not sell?
And the thing about like Goodwill is they don't pay for anything. They don't pay. I mean, their stock, their merchandise. They don't pay for any of it. It's all free.
It's John. It's the truth.
I know, John.
None of the shit's been tested. They just sell it.
Scott needs to live in a van, but down by the river.
I'm just a crazy one who'll tell you the truth. Go watch. If you don't want the truth and don't want an opinion, go watch somebody just shopping in the Goodwill and look, I found this and it's going to be worth this, and go on with your happy life, and that's okay. Some people need that.
Like, I don't know whether this is truth or not, but you're really into technology, so I'm going to ask you: these NVIDIA video cards, the high-end ones. I was reading, and then I watched a YouTube video about it too, and they were talking about these cards can do so much. They can do so much more than just create 3D video.
It'd be like, Tom. It'd be like, okay, we're selling this Diet Coke. May not contain actual Diet Coke.
Is that true? Not the Diet Coke thing. Is it true? Because I know that back when there were all the Bitcoin mining going on, they were doing, that's what was doing all the processing, was these high-end video cards.
Hey, we can start with the Diet Coke. Your Diet Coke. This is the Diet Coke you were expecting. This might be a Diet Coke you got.
Oh God, that's just nasty in so many ways.
It feels
Dad,
like
number two.
those listings that are like that don't show you the real product, don't tell you exactly what you're buying, and throw all the maze in. It feels like a bait and switch. I'd ban every one of them and ban that practice. Okay, so you don't ban Goodwill. You just tell them you got to take pictures of the actual item or you can't list it. That used to be the rule.
Yeah, but
For the longest time on eBay, you could not use a stock photo on a used item. There's a reason for that. Because the stock photo is perfect, brand new. And once it's used, it ain't perfect and brand new. You're creating a false sense for a customer. You're like the Amazon customer that the video is going to come out tomorrow or the next day. He sent back a Blu-ray player. You know why he sent it back? It
Why?
appears to be used. You bought a used DVD player. No wonder it looks like it's used. You stupid cocksucker.
Oh, I'm glad I came back to the
You
show. This is
ordered
wonderful.
a used Blu-ray player and returned it because it appeared to be used. You bought a used DVD player or Blu-ray player, and it didn't meet your expectation because it wasn't new, because you bought a used one. That person should drive right off the bridge and just land at the bottom. The other lady, this one here, she said it didn't match the item description. The item description has this exact box in 2 pictures, and it says it's 20 of these sheets. You're mad that you paid 4 times what it cost because they don't make it anymore, and you're buying an out of stock item. That's what you're mad about, but you're saying it didn't match it. That person should be kicked right off the AI. AI should give them a week away from their computer and let them think about how they. That's Amazon.
People don't understand the supply issue. I mean,
You know what? This is the best part of it ever. The bitch said this didn't match the description. So you know what happens now? AI through Amazon has now triggered to look at me selling these, and now they want me to send in a goddamn receipt to prove that this is actually what it is. And when they tell me they will take an invoice or a receipt, when I send the receipt in, they say we don't accept receipts, even though we said send the fucking receipts in. All because this bitch bought something that she thought was too expensive and said it doesn't look like the listing. Amazon goes, You have sold $4 million over the last 11 years. You're a trusted seller. We haven't had any issues with you. But Sally down the street said it didn't match the listing. Give us the goddamn invoices or you can't sell this shit no more. That's where we are on Amazon. Amazon sucks. If you're starting Amazon right now, you're insane.
You can make millions on it, according to all the YouTubers that's got all these new things about. Let me show you how to make millions of dollars on Amazon.
Let me show you because they're trying to sell you something, Tom.
Yeah,
they're making them. Well, they're probably not even making millions.
They're trying to sell you something.
They're making the money, but they're not making it off of Amazon.
Here comes a shyster here.
Welcome to the shit show.
Jake would do it.
Jake's got a course for $11.95. That's $1,195.00. Jake will teach you how to raise and market sticks.
JT, his wife left Amazon, and then on top of all that, the fees and everything that they are charging you to actually put your stuff. If you're running a wholesale model, it's going to be wholesale or nothing, and then eventually, whenever they get to that point, they're going to push the small wholesalers out and only going to want to deal with the company. Dusty used to say this over and over. I told him he was nuts. He turned out he was right. It just took longer than he thought it would take.
He's up there right at this moment listening to this show going, see, you old dumbass, I told you so.
I mean, I made a lot of money in the meantime on the way down. But
John, I am printing one of these. It is so they put a new fence in, and I wanted a gate, so they took one of the panels and made a gate out of it. But they had to cut it down a little bit, and I'm making caps. They're not going to be orange. This is just a prototype. But I'm making caps that go inside the fence. It's hard to show and go on. But this one was a little small, so I'm printing another one.
I know, right, Biff? I'm gonna have to work hard to top this on a Friday night.
I don't think it's gonna happen.
But folks, the insanity, the stuff that we put up with as citizens of a country that's supposedly free, in a free market that's never been free. The illusion, they've sold you an illusion.
Free, that's right.
They've sold you an illusion and charged you. They have sold you for an illusion and charged you for it in perpetuity or whatever that word is.
Perpetuity. Yep.
Whatever that word is. It's hard for big words in Alabama, damn it.
If it's got more than one syllable.
I have to get the kid who was taught by his mama to say the word.
I know. He speaks better English than anybody.
He could probably tell us the same word in old Dutch, German Dutch too.
That's all right.
I was listening to your video earlier, Scott, about the the eBay wanting you to spend $25 or $24, or was that on the show? It's all running together. 25%. They're wanting you to do like 25% promoted listings.
And that was one they suggested 23%.
Yeah, and you're already paying 13% in fees. So that's giving them 38%.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, you can't do that unless you're selling sticks.
And you throw the credit card thing on top of it, you're pushing 40%.
Yep.
Yeah, even sticks, that's hard to go out and chop them up if you're only going to get 60%.
Yeah, you got to feed them.
I get somebody else to chop them up at that point.
Well, then you got to pay them.
Sure, but I'm not out there sweating.
Not if it's David.
True.
David performs as slave labor.
That's his brother, right, David?
Yeah. I'm surprised he hadn't started growing his own sticks. He's probably your competition. He's probably the one, you just don't know it.
Yeah, he's got an acre of land. He's got an acre of land over in the other county that he's raising it over there. So you don't know about it.
The one that keeps copying you and carrying on, that's probably David.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
He's smart enough not to get caught, so it's probably him.
If somebody's copying you, I mean, that means you're doing the right thing, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah. The fellow from Illinois is the one that's constantly taking my photos, taking my listings, taking my copy text
It
copying, and
would surprise me
You
if
know,
at some point he probably bought them from you and selling from your
that's
original
the
it's
stuff.
height.
possible.
That's the height of laziness right there. Because today we have AI that can take Jake's listing and totally change the wording,
Yeah.
but
Yep.
yet they're just copying and pasting. That's all they're
So
doing.
here's how blatant it is. In my listing, I have a video of the trees after they're like 3 years old. And in the description, I say, check out the video for a 3-year-old version of this, basically what you can do. His listing has no video and yet still has the text in the description.
One of the things that
That's
one of the things about AI is that it's changing the whole IP deal or the intellectual properties deal, because people are they'll say, AI, take this story and change it. No, not the same characters, maybe not the same order stuff, but it's based off of. You can tell that it's based off of another story. And so so the intellectual property attorneys are looking to pushing for a law that says that even though it doesn't blatantly show, or it's not
Then you'd
the
have to
same
prove it
item,
and stuff.
it's based off of their item.
Hollywood has been doing that shit for years, making a movie and then
Well,
another movie comes out that's almost identical, but it's
right,
totally,
the same storyline, but it's
So, I mean, it would be hard to prove that you did it.
There's an AI that'll compare the two together.
Sure, but that doesn't mean it was done that way.
Well,
you just came up with the same idea.
The ambulance chasers have to make a dollar
sure.
too. But seriously, if you wrote a story and somebody's making a knockoff of it, and you can tell it's your story, wouldn't you not want to have the right to be able to pursue litigation against these people?
Of course. In your case, I wouldn't. But I mean, does he really make that many more sales, or does he make any more sales? Does he make any sales? I don't know.
Then run him out of business. I mean, it's not like it's hard to raise sticks based on the brand they are. Yeah, just go out there and just run him out of business, Jake. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. No. Uh-huh.
Yeah. How long does it take for a willow to, take root and grow into something like that? I don't know. Just something that people would say, okay, I've been scammed. It would take years, wouldn't it? Yeah. So, yeah. Because, I mean, if you're a scammer, it's a good business model for you because nobody can come back 2 years later and do anything about it, especially on platforms like eBay. It's past your return policy. Yeah.
Have we reached the end of this show yet?
What's the matter? Are you just totally spent from your rage and
Mm.
you know Jake is not in the program. Jake's just still down in the green room. So people think that Steve and I are talking to ourselves.
Oh, I didn't even think about it because we can
Well,
hear
Yeah.
Jake. And,
why is it my fault that his internet is terrible?
sorry, guys.
Yeah.
We were talking to Jake the whole time and nobody could hear him.
Yeah.
I was looking up something and trying to make a schedule an oil appointment.
I've got Scott. I've been talking with the people from EV Mux about give me the to the point how to set it up. So, like on my show, Todd sees the background. He can bring people in without me having to do it. He can end the show if
you
he
want
needs
like a
to be.
co-host? Yeah.
Yeah. Just to make it easier.
It shouldn't be that hard to do it if the
You have to give up a lot
ability
of
is
rights,
there.
though.
You give
I have
up
to
a lot of
list.
rights
I have to
no matter
list
what you
there.
do.
What are we looking at, Jake?
Josh-
besides the
Josh
white
wants-
fence,
Josh wants me to test these hard goods, and I'm ready to go.
is he in here, or is he just messaged you?
Just message.
Okay. Is he in one of the provinces that's threatening to become the 51st, 52nd, 53rd state?
I don't think so.
No, I don't.
I think he's
so.
a little bit further in the middle, right? Then he wouldn't have to worry about jumping back and forth across the border because there would be no border. Is that where your
I
complex is
don't
behind
really
you,
see
Jake?
that.
Yep, that one is.
That one?
I don't
Oh,
really
and that
see
one there,
anything.
and that one there.
I don't see any Canadian states actually seceding from the nation anytime soon. Although, if it were to happen, Alberta would be probably the first.
Yeah, because they're the ones with all the oil and timber that's getting screwed
They're
up.
they're
Well,
the ones that
they're
buy
just-
the most of my willow sticks too.
Oh, are they?
They're more conservative over there.
Bastard
Yeah.
Noodle, you should be able to go camping. You're a software engineer by trade, for God's sakes. If you can't make AI list your own shit while you ain't there, we don't even think you know how to program anything.
Willows can take about 5 days to start growing roots. 5 days at 70 degrees.
And if you throw them at the end of your septic tank line that's leaching the ground, they'll grow like hell.
Oh yeah, they'll go right through your septic tank too.
No, I'm talking
look-
about like at the end of it, like where because the septic tanks have not been maintained like they're supposed to, and so at the end of their
Yep.
drain lines, it's
You'll never need to have a septic field then. All you got to do is make sure that you don't get any solids going in it.
yeah.
You don't drink it all up.
I want a refund. I have brown willows.
Yeah, about 5 days. I used to say 5 to 15 days, depending on the temperature. But if you have them at an indoor temperature of 70 degrees, yeah, they'll grow in about 5 days. They'll start growing roots. You'll have probably quarter inch roots in about 7 days.
If you could take willows and kudzu and like put some kind of water container on the end of them so they would have some water, and just fire rockets full of them onto Mars, I'd say give it 2 years and Mars would not be the red planet anymore. It'd be green. You'd have to catch your way through it, but
Yeah.
That's Bastard. That's not the response. I expected some long diatribe, and you try to needle you to give me a migraine, and I get whatever. What the heck?
I don't know if
Yeah,
Lance
I'm gonna
Armstrong-
redo stuff, since y'all enjoyed my presentation so much on why Goodwill shouldn't be allowed to list. I'm gonna recreate that on video.
Yeah,
You should be able to cut it right out of it.
I know, but it's harder to see when it's just on one. If I was full screen doing it, it'd be easier, but
Yeah.
it's way harder.
Lenchar Picker, he does some really amazing graphics and stuff with
James,
with
you done
AI.
missed all the fun, James. I was in rare form there for about 30 minutes.
Man, he was on a roll. I expected the screen to go blank there all of a sudden.
Even I'm sitting here thinking, I sound like a fire and brimstone Southern gospel preacher right now.
I was thinking of more. I was thinking more of one of the political analysts on what is it? CNBC.
Spit it out, Tom.
I was thinking Alex Jones or something.
God Almighty! What the hell? I can't take that. Nobody telling me he's in the background. Nobody can hear him. No,
Screen, old man.
Nobody can hear you scream, Tom.
Because I was looking at something over here, and I didn't even realize that Jake wasn't in the show, and Steve and I just talking to him like there's no tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do after the show. Because I got the big camera sitting right here. Oh, I can't use the big camera because it goes to. I'll use the GoPro because the big camera with its focus and the bokeh background, it won't look as good.
Oh Lord!
You gotta have quality entertainment.
Wednesday morning with the beard.
That's the channel. The Reseller's insane rant over why Goodwill doesn't belong on eBay. That'll be a good title.
Oh, that one! If you do that one, I'm gonna be sure and I'm gonna send it to some people. Not in a bad way, in a good way.
Yeah, because I need to definitely make sure that I get some Coke bottles too, because I think the people can really understand the licking of the Coke bottle.
Yeah. Oh, that's just nasty there. I mean, that was just nasty.
Yeah. Nope. No.
Scott, how's the real quick, like before you close this thing down? How's the Whatnot shows going? Are you doing any?
Since I got sick, we never got back into it. I need to work on it. But the problem is when you're building something, it's. I hadn't figured out the time aspect yet, Tom, because I'm not great at repeating the same day over and over and scheduling my time great.
Right.
And so I was ignoring eBay, and it was hurting my sales, and therefore couldn't let that continue to happen. So back to spending a lot more focus on eBay. That's why the sales are way up again, because it had dropped so fast. Because eBay is eBay pretty much is a prima donna. eBay is if you don't want to pay attention to that bitch, she will walk away from you in a hurry.
Yep.
And that's the way you got to treat her. You got to treat her like you got to treat her like almost like she's like your spouse.
Right.
Because if eBay, if you don't pay attention to her, treat you bad, make you sleep outside with the dog,
take all your money.
I mean, it's all the things, man, and not loyal at all either. If you ain't paying attention to her, or him or her, whatever your poison is. So yeah, I had to get back to.
So do you think it's a case where you've got to pretty much go all in on one or the other if you're going to make a living off of it, or do you think you can really do half and half?
It's what I've always said, and I'm not wrong on this one. I know I'm 100% right. The hardest thing in reselling you'll ever do was multiple platforms, because unless you're really good at allocating time and sticking to a schedule, which most of us go to this because we don't like schedules and we want to work at our own pace and we want to enjoy whatever we do. So if you start with two platforms, you can be the best Amazon seller in the world. You add eBay, you've added something that say, oh, but it's just a program. It's just on it. You start losing focus. Your attention is kind of diverted. And if you're trying to build something new, like a Whatnot that really needs attention, needs to build audience and needs consistency, that means a lot of time. And that means, where are you getting that time from? And I lost too much focus on the platforms that were making much more money.
Right.
And so I needed to.
Yeah, I agree with that a lot. But in my case, I sell sticks on one platform and I sell Starbucks on another. And so those are very separated, very, very specific platforms for those specific things. I think that particular case makes it easier, but I definitely still agree with Scott that it's
Yeah, but how
still
about for
difficult
the
when you're running
audience
multiple.
you
But
build and
that's
whatnot with mugs?
but that's the reason I haven't done Whatnot again in a while, because I was hurting other platforms.
And also too, not putting the time in there, it's hard to get the value out of those.
Hmm.
Yeah, I gotta see if I got a picture of it. I picked up a Starbucks mug yesterday.
I hear you. I mean, I will do some more Whatnot shows. I just don't know exactly when they'll be.
I enjoy doing once a week Whatnots. I did skip Sunday because I didn't have any inventory, but I'm very specific, like you, Jake. I just sell hats right now. So,
yep.
Now, in my opinion, it's two different animals, and you have to feed them a different way. Now, like Chastity, she's on a bunch of different channels, but she's cross-listing everything to those other channels. So when she does one listing, it's going to 3 different other platforms.
If you have a really strong process for doing that, it can work for some people, but I would caution people trying to do that without having really good processes.
Right, because it's still and that's the part that's gotten me. And if I had better, it's not even process. To me, it's time allocating time
Well, it's
management.
either automation, process, or time, right? You got 3 choices.
Because Jennifer would tell you the same thing. Her eBay and Amazon have fallen off, as she is a wonderful Whatnot. I mean, she's good at whatever she sells. Don't get me wrong. She's been doing this a long time. She's like me. Parents, grandparents all did this craziness, but the eBay has fallen off to a record lows for her and for a long. Because you're talking to somebody with huge success on eBay, because it slacked off a little bit with Amazon. Amazon's kind of kicked us to the curb a little bit. So as she pushed back into eBay, she found Whatnot. She's incredible at Whatnot. So the eBay is still suffering, and she's trying to figure out how to do them both. Spend time, because that fickle bitch that is eBay, you lose fast.
Do you see where Michelle's asking a question? Where's that? I'm Michael. Excuse me. How many listings a day for everyday sales? Opinions.
It depends what you're selling. There is not an answer.
No answer.
Well, first of all, the question, the premise of the question is wrong, in my humble opinion. I don't care how many listings you do a day. The number of listings you do a day does not correlate into a sales goal. You're not going to go to the bank today and go, or you're not going to Walmart today or stopping for buying lunch and give them your debit cards and I want to pay with this for 3 eBay listings. So until you stop tracking in the number of listings and get that out of your head, it's been a misnomer for years. I think it's wrong. I mean, I for most people, there are some that can get away. You need to go, how many dollars do I list per day? If you want, and then say if your goal is to sell 300 a day, I would suggest that you're listing a minimum of $300 a day, because every time you sell something, your availability goes down and it's harder to get there. And so you need to replace your daily sales goal daily. And I would tell you to at least 50% up. So I would tell you that person probably needs $450 a day if you want 300. Just me. And
so
I think that's a much better way to phrase it. Yes.
So you're suggesting looking at let's just say $500 a day, and
so
if you sell if you list 3 items and it takes you up to that $500 a day,
correct,
then you've listed enough.
But because and that could,
yeah,
because like I could tell you the other day, I listed 44, 45 items. Those CDs added up to what, 380, 390. That was not enough to make my my daily listing goal. And you go, but Beard, you listed 44 items. You had a great day. If you stop there, I don't meet, because I'm looking to list 600 to 700 a day. So I don't meet the sales goal, and I feel good about myself. You did 44. That's incredible. The other thing that's hard about that is, in order to list that way and list dollar amounts, you got to have a goal. Most people don't have goals. They don't think. They don't plan. They don't. They just are just out there willy nilly in it, and they feel good because activity makes you feel better that you're accomplishing something, but you're doing it the hard way. I challenge you. I appreciate the question because it really helps me explain a topic that most people get wrong, in my opinion. The answer is really look at it and see what you need for sales per day. Take your month, divide it by 30, make it easy. If it's a 31 or a 30, it doesn't matter. Just use a round number. It'll be good for you. And then come up with a daily sales goal, and then 150% of your sales goal. I tell you, the results will come. You will be, you will. Here's what'll happen. Here's what'll happen. You will track me down in Huntsville, Alabama, and I want to go do this.
Okay.